Well, before we were a rescue, we were, just a farm, Mills River Farm. My sisters and I had horses, and then for a few years I did a little boarding. I became a rescue after volunteering for another rescue, doing some work with the rescue animals, and I realized there was such a need for it that I became my own 501c3. Because we always had big horses here, so we had big stalls. So I was able to split a couple of those for the smaller ponies. We've, had to put new roofing on and some smaller fencing so the ponies don't get underneath the fencing. We always need work here, and that's our biggest struggle. Is we would love carpenters and men that could help us with those tasks.
This is Jolie, and Jolie is about 15 years old, and she's sanctuaried here. She has Cushing's disease and laminitis, so her feet bother her, and once a day we try and soak them in ice for her to keep down the inflammation. Well, horses can soak up to 24 hours. They can soak for a long time, so if we could I try and get out in the morning, or somebody in the morning and then somebody at night. It takes down the inflammation. Her feet can get very hot, and they actually will swell, and the lamini will pull away from the bone, and then you have an even bigger problem. So we're trying to keep the inflammation down. We also have ice wraps. We have these, but we wrap their legs in ice wraps if we can't get to the soaking. So they always seem to have something cold going on their feet. So we're gonna let me take her out of the ice. Sometimes she doesn't move very quickly about it, so come here, Joe, let me have the foot. Give me your foot. See, this is one thing. She doesn't like it, but once you get her in there, you can't get her out. Did we move both shoes over there? Yes, we did. I had them on either side. So I like to take her out and make sure her feet are clean. I should have a pick, but they're not bad. Let's come all the way out, Jolie. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, lift it up. I know. See, she's very sore. Come on. She's a good girl. So these shoes are support. You can see in there that there's the frog support on the bottom. And this just gives her the added support that she needs to be able to walk comfortably.
Does she wear those all day long?
She does. When she comes outside, they're on, and then when she goes back in at night, we take them off overnight. So she just needs them when she's walking around, but when she's in her stall, she's good. So we strap those on. We have 3 ponies here that will wear these shoes. I know they're wet, huh? I know, she's such a good girl. This is the sweetest pony here, though. But she's working through it. They can work through it and have a successful recovery. I mean, Jolie will never be ridden because she's sanctuaried here. She's got the life of leisure. She's good with all the kids that come. These quick release are nice. Come on, Joe. See? Sad, huh? Come on, honey. Oh no, now I have to make you back up. Look it. Come on. Come on, honey. Look, there's some lunch in your bucket. They eat well around here, I will say that. I have to limit my horse's feed sometimes because he's a little heavy. And I come here and I'm like, they're so lucky. He would love it here.
Yeah, so if we sanctuary them, they have to, usually have a medical problem or be, over 20. Some are in their 20s. So what we do is we put it out there that we need a sponsor for this animal. Can someone help us with the monthly costs? And they do, and they come and they become part of the pony's life. They'll come and brush them a couple times a week. They help us with any bills that we don't count on, medical bills. It's nice. We feel like we owe it to each rescue that we pull, we owe the follow through. If they aren't adoptable, we owe them the rest of their life.
A lot of these ponies are older here, so ponies and draft horses are predispositioned to diseases like Cushing's, which is a pituitary gland disease, and the laminitis, which affects their feet. So everything in their body, if there's any kind of toxin, goes right to their feet. No hoof, no horse, that saying is very true. So we do have some that are struggling with Cushing's and with laminitis, and because of that, and they're elderly, Patty's sanctuarying those ponies here. So that's what happens. Some ponies get thrown on the grass and it's not monitored, and that's our little Jolie's case here. She, I think the wife passed away and the husband needed to rehome the ponies. So he reached out to Patty, but by the time Patty got to them, the ponies had been out for who knows how long on the grass. So like Tinkerbell's on the grass today, but she doesn't have any issues. So you have to monitor, it's all sugar. So we do have quite a few that have health issues that we have to monitor. For Grace, it's mental scars. She doesn't have any health issues, but if I'm not here for a week and a half, I see that she does step back, and then she'll look at me like, oh, it's you, because I have a snack.
We find I have a couple local rescues. People fell on hard times, weren't able to take care of them, so they reached out. We took them. They're older. And we do some from Pennsylvania, from the kill pens. We do. Whatever they need, they try to call us. And sometimes I can't take the animal because I'm full here, but I offer them either another rescue solution or a network for them to try to find them a place to put that animal. I also use foster homes when I'm full. I have people that take the ponies to their home. We'll foster them until we can find them a home. I watch things online. I watch auctions online, and I hope that they get a home. Usually it's the ones that are left there. We have people that network with us that actually live out in Pennsylvania in that area, and we network with them.
And Grace was a very difficult case. In 2019, Patty pulled two donkeys and Grace from a kill pen in Pennsylvania. And Grace, she was definitely a donkey you could not handle. Her halter said very dangerous, euthanize on it. And she still had the sticker on her from the kill pen because they put numbers on them. You couldn't get close enough to take the halter off or take the sticker off. Patty did adopt her out, and the woman who took Grace stopped handling her, and Grace regressed pretty much back to where she was when Patty first got her. So it was a lot, she was scared, and every other day I came for probably 3 months, and she needed the consistency, and we have a great relationship now, and she's a totally different donkey, but she was kicking, biting, they couldn't do her feet, they couldn't even get sedation in her to do what they needed to do for her. The flies are terrible here like in August, and we couldn't get fly spray on her. She was afraid of the sprayer, and there's a cream called Swat that we needed to put on her legs. So we had to kind of corral her into this spot right here, and we used the gate kind of as a chute, and we got the halter on her, and then we were able to put the fly spray and stuff on her. And then Patty said to me, why don't you walk her to the pasture? So I had the lead and the halter on her, and I went to walk her, and she tried to bolt away from me. And maybe because I have goats, I just didn't let go. And Grace looked back like, oh, she's still here, and that kind of was the start of, she didn't win and I won, and then I would come a couple days later and I would have to kind of chase her down a little bit with the halter, but I used the treats as a little reward. The halter became a non-issue. Like today I went right out, put the halter on her. Leading her is a little bit harder because they don't know what you're going to do with them. Plus she still has the mental scars of what's going to happen to me. Leading is difficult because she's not sure where you're taking her or what you're doing. But it took 4 men to get her on that trailer. I can't even imagine what they put her through. And she did have a halter on then, but it had been on her for who knows how long. So it's nice that she can have her freedom. I can approach her, put the halter on her, and we can do whatever we need to do with her. Like you saw me brushing her, and I don't have to have a halter and lead on her anymore. But to be a good pony, horse, donkey citizen, you need to be able to let people put halters on them so that you can do those things with them. And Marilyn, she's not a difficult donkey, but she's kind of been free here with her friend Tinkerbell. So she would prefer not to put the halter on. So after I worked with Grace, I started working with Marilyn. Same thing, some little treat rewards, and they're low carb ones because she's on a diet right now. They both are. So the halter was something important that we had to kind of conquer. And then everything else just came after that, because once they let you put that halter on, it's like a trust thing. So once they kind of give that trust to you, then you kind of can follow through with the rest of the body. And now she's the perfect donkey citizen. She can have her feet done just with a halter and a lead. She got all her shots this year. She got her teeth done. So she's just done amazing. So I'm happy that I'm part of her life, so it's exciting that she's done so well. It was a lot of hands-on, a lot of trust things that we did together, and now she's a different donkey, and she loves the kids when the kids come. And really the farm visits kind of broke that barrier, the little kids. And one little boy went right up and kissed her right on the nose. But we would let her come to us. We never went up to Grace. Now I bring everyone right to her, right to Marilyn. They all get to scratch her. Who can say they've touched a donkey, So the kids really, the donkeys look for the attention. The ponies are like, just feed me.
Yeah.
But they do love the visits.
We primarily are a horse rescue, but we find people, something got in their coop and killed their chickens and they have one chicken left, will you please take it?
Now it is.
Or the same goes, we have these 2 ducks. We live in an apartment in the city because we're silly, and we take these ducks. So we do take them in when we can. Bunnies also, which I've just reached out to the MSPCA, because I guess what happens is they say, some of the other bunny rescues are full, so I do get bunnies in. And but I reached out to them about getting the spay and neutering, because I hate to rehome any animal that isn't spayed or neutered. So that's in the process. I don't do that a lot, but we do it.
It's really hard to pick a favorite, honestly. They're all very special in their own little unique way, and you love them for their own little personalities and quirks that they have.
Probably Precious, my unicorn, is my favorite, but don't tell anyone.
There's a pony here, Romeo, who actually went a step further with her with the feet, and he foundered. So he was in big trouble over pretty much into the spring. So I spent a lot of time with Romeo, so he's kind of got a special place in my heart.
I would say Grace and I have a very special connection. I love all of the ponies here and the animals. It's just something about how we came together. Like, it was just something that, I have animals that just kind of come to me like that, and I do have a special connection with her. And of course, she's the first one I come to see when I come here, but I take care of all of them and I love them all. But I do have a special connection with her, for sure.
But I love them all. They're all so different, and they're just fun. Some of them are more spunky than the others, and some of them are just calm, and you could just sit with them and just kind of just be with them. But the other ones all want action, or it's fun. It's different. They're all so different.
Yeah, so we have this odd pair here, a rooster named Dee and a Sunny's our duck. They were raised together, and Sunny the duck thinks he's a chicken, and he won't go in the pond. And we have a friend, Jean Kirby, who does photography for us. She wanted to write a children's story for the farm, and she has beautiful pictures. And our animals here are all different. And being a teacher, Patty said, Janice, can you help with the writing part of it? And I just felt like it was an opportunity to seize the moment, and to have Sunny the duck, who is not acting like a duck, to go through the story and to have a message about being different. So it repeats itself. Kids need some kind of affirmation. Sometimes it's in repeated text. So every other page, Sunny says, it's okay to be different. Sunny says, we're all beautiful and special little gems. And then it says at the bottom, our next friend is around the bend. So you meet the different pairs that we have here because they all love each other. They're all different. And it's such an important message for kids. So I really enjoyed doing that. And it has been a great fundraiser. And our farm visits, you know, that's when I put the books out so they can see them. And we've had a lot of good response from the story. Oh, look at, there's the chickens. They're troublemakers. Isn't that beautiful? And there you are. It's Marilyn and Grace. Donkeys, Marilyn and Grace, are friends of a different size, but just look at all the love in their eyes. I had a group come for a birthday party, and the first question I asked them was, do you know why these animals are here, how they got here? And I tell them that, you know, especially, you know, the donkeys and then some of the ponies, either they were neglected, they weren't taken care of with food or what they needed for medical, and they were just, you know, discarded. And their eyes get really big because they don't understand. With the littler kids, you know, we talk more about like, what do they need? Ponies need love, they need food, they need water, but they need you to take care of them until they're old. You know, we don't give them away. We don't, you know, if you can find another home for them, that's fine, but we don't just discard them or neglect them. So it depends on the age group that I have, but I am very honest with what could have happened to Grace or what could have happened to Bo, that they could have ended up at a slaughterhouse.
The love of the ponies and the donkeys and all the animals, you just can't help but want to help them and make a good home and life for them, because they do deserve it.
And like I said, it's a great opportunity to teach the children young that these lives matter and they need to have compassion and make the commitment, and spreading that word with their peers, because their families are obviously compassionate. They're here supporting us, donating. It's getting that word out to other families and other children, and we're hoping that's going to help break that cycle.
So we come in and we clean up the paddocks and we get all the horses in, we get them fed, make sure they have water, put on their coats in the winter, and any other small chores that are, so it's a labor of love, really.
People think, oh, we're coming and hanging out with the ponies, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of poop pickup, because you have to keep their environment clean. You don't want worms, and you know, the hay that's left over has to be cleaned up. So it's a lot of work. But we have a lot of retired people that have kind of found, and that's what I love, is that I had horses and I wasn't going to get another horse, but I can be here working with the animals and Grace. And so it's very fulfilling. I've really enjoyed it. And I get to use my teaching skills at the same time, so it's been a nice match.
Yeah, if they can only give an hour a day, they give an hour. If they can give 2, they give 2. We don't have like any requirement. We just require that they come at least 4 times a month, because things change here. So you may have learned one thing here. You know, this is the food that they get, and then that may change. So we ask them to keep up with us, so I'm not retraining them. Some people come just to brush the ponies. We have a woman that comes once a week, lines them all up, brushes them. Some people come to soak the ones that have sore feet and need that. There's always something to do. Some men come and paint, rake leaves. We need volunteers.
As a thanks to Patty, I do volunteer at the farm, and I volunteer when I can. Usually maybe like 3, 4, 5 times a month I'll be able to come and help out in the morning. I do have a full-time job, so I try to work around and do as much as I can, and when I come I help out if I can.
And it's not only affected their lives, you know, it's just the people that volunteer here get so much out of coming and helping and being around all these ponies, and the women that are helping. It's just such a great community, and it's wonderful.
We're very big on our Facebook. I can't say that I'm great on my website. The time gets away from me in the day. So if they message us, we love volunteers. They come a couple of hours in the morning, And then there's a whole new group that comes usually 1.5 hours in the afternoon. So we ask people not to pop in because I do work another job, so I leave and I don't want people wandering around the property. But if they call or message us and make an appointment, we do allow family visits, which have been a great asset to us. We do little tours, and they've brought us in some funding. Bring the family, they're allowed to feed the ducks, pet the pony, maybe walk a pony, and or just anyone can come to see what it's about. We do birthday parties when we're able. Yeah, I do the Christmas wreath making, and we have forms, so we make cat wreaths. The biggest, of course, is the horse wreath. Horses, regular wreaths, different shapes. I think I have a seahorse and a chicken. So we do that. We do really well with that fundraiser. And then we have sweatshirts that we run. We have calendars. We have candles, bags. We try to think up whatever we can to raise money. We do try to get out in the community. We try to go to the fair each year and go to some of the little in-town, village days to get out there so people know what we are. There is a donate button on our website. We always put a PayPal link or something on our posts on Facebook. We have a mailing address. I believe it's on Facebook, but anyone could message us.
And give them what they
I got nothing. Yeah. Hi. I know you're checking it out, huh? Yeah, definitely.
So, how do you guys, do you want to, like I know Patty talked about.
I have a little song I teach the kids when they come. And it goes like this. Hey, do you know? And we put, drops in our eyes every single day. So this is sweetness.
Yeah.
They pick up their
Yeah. Cute.
And I do letters sometimes. I open up all the gates so they can go out there a big loop, and then they run back and they do a loop and they keep coming.
But that's Romeo's story. He really is a sweet boy. Huh?
Halfway.
Yeah, because she saw her like, "Arr!" All right. So you can get me doing it, but I really don't